We begin at 5, turning back the clock 1 year, where a quiet neighborhood turned into a scene of a deadly rampage. Shortly after 1 p.m., Rockford police responded to calls for multiple attacks across Cleveland and Harrison Avenue and Alpine Road. The murder spree transforming March 27th into one of the worst days in recent Rockford history. Good evening, I'm Dylan Valencia. That senseless attack rocking the foundations of the city that over 140,000 people call home, leaving multiple families grieving. Among those we lost, a mother and son duo, 63-year-old Ramona Schubach and 23-year-old Jacob Schubach, the first victims in the attack. 15-year-old Jenna Newcomb was another victim. The East High School student gave her own life, protecting her sister and friend. And finally, 49-year-old Jay Larson, a postal worker who was delivering mail during the rampage. Larson served the community and was a welcoming face in the neighborhood, leaving a cheerful impact on every single person that he met. Emily McMinn joins us now. Emily, I know you spoke with people who knew him. Take us through exactly how they're remembering Jay on this tragic anniversary.
Well, Dylan, Larson's co-workers gathered this morning for a moment of silence at the post office on Harrison Avenue to honor his memory. However, they say his absence and legacy is discussed often within the walls of their workplace and beyond. Over the course of the year, the letter carriers have come together to hold vigils and rallies for Larson, working alongside Congressman Eric Sorensen to begin the steps to rename the post office in Larson's memory.
Having Sorensen be out there in the forefront, speaking about it and bringing about our issues it's priceless.
And tonight, Congressman Eric Sorensen and Darren LaHood introducing legislation to memorialize Larson in Rockford's history. The bill would rename the post office on Harrison Avenue after Larson. One of the powers of Congress includes being able to rename post offices, and both congressmen say Larson is deserving of it for his service to his neighbors. Coming up on 13 News at 6, more from Larson's friend and co-worker, what he remembers about March 27, 2024, and his longtime friend. Back over to you, Dylan.
Yeah, that's a great honor there, Emily. Thank you. Local leaders are continuing to remember that heart-wrenching day. Now, one of these is Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara. He says remembering the lives lost is the most important thing today.
We need to make sure that we're continuing to say their names. We need to make sure that they didn't die in vain. We need to make sure that we as a community are coming together, not just in times of tragedy.
State Representative Joe Sosnowski also continuing to send his support to those in the midst of grieving.
It's a time to reflect, I think, number one, that, we do live in a very fairly safe world, safe country, safe area, and these things are very rare. But when they do happen, our heart goes out, prayers go out to the family and those affected.
And State Senator Steve Stottleman recalling the violent nature of the event in a very quiet area.
What continues to strike me as what was so bizarre about that situation was how random it was. People were going through their daily lives in a quiet neighborhood, and suddenly this happened.
Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth also commemorating the victims and denouncing this terrible attack, saying in part, quote, "As we mark 1 year since this senseless attack, I'm still thinking of the 4 lives taken, their loved ones, the survivors, and the entire Rockford community. Violence has no place in our neighborhoods. I'm thankful for the first responders, local officials, and Mayor McNamara for their continued leadership and work to keep Illinoisans safe after this horrible tragedy." End quote. Tonight, the suspect accused of carrying out this attack, 23-year-old Christian Soto, remains behind bars. He's facing multiple charges of first-degree and attempted murder. He'll be back in court on April 4th.